You know, it's no secret that most gearheads' earliest car experiences involved building models, because we all wanted replicas of our favorite cars and trucks. The problem with models, though, they didn't last very long. I mean, you couldn't play with them, you couldn't even hardly touch them, because they just fall apart on you. But that's what they were, and hopefully as you grew up, the desire to build something translated into building real vehicles. The problem with real cars, though, is that most of us can only afford one or two. With die-cast, you can have a whole bunch. The problem with die-cast is there's usually a big difference between the replica and the real thing. Well, at least there used to be a big difference until a company named GMP came along and completely changed the way everybody looks at die-cast models.
We started as Peach State Motorsports making 64 scale transporters. During that time, we saw an opportunity for the muscle car collectibles. So now we had two different collector populations that we were catering to. And during this period, though, we saw opportunities to just add more detail. And we always had the philosophy that limited and serialized was two elements that the collectors really liked. So by adding detail, staying limited, and serializing the product, we kind of created this environment of real collectibles that went up in value.
The thing that separates a GMP model from everybody else is the incredible attention to detail. You don't just have steering that works and doors and trunks that open. You also have working suspensions, rotating drive shafts, even roll-up windows.
After you get done with this and we approve that, we go to production. And then that takes 3 to 4 months for a 1,000-piece run.
Now, is this factory color? Do you use factory paint?
For most of the muscle cars, we do use factory options.
Wow.
Only cars that were actually made.
It even has the air cleaner ring.
Yes.
Foam ring.
Yep. And that is the brand new Orbit Orange GTO Judge with sandstone interior.
Not only that, but GMP builds models in different scales. And as the size of the models go up, so do the details. Until you get up to the massive real art models that feature such detail in the engines and the suspensions and construction that you would swear you could actually drive one of these things if you could somehow fit inside of it.
The big scale is a guy thing, I guess. You know, where these are nice die-cast replicas, we feel the big scale, the real art replica, is more pieces of art like you'd see in a museum. Plus, we had really developed the resin capabilities, which used to be difficult as far as stability, but now we've got the formulas where we can make an accurate model and do lower quantities.
Another thing that makes GMP so unique is what they make replicas out of. I mean, of course they do hot rods and muscle cars. They also do vintage race cars, sprint cars, even shop tools and other unique things. You want a replica of your favorite guitar? Check these out. The attention to detail is so realistic, you'll swear you can hit some licks on one of these things.
We're always growing. If we stop growing and stop looking for new avenues, then that's when we're done. We're licensed with Ferrari, with Mopar, Chevrolet, GM, and we're taking these to global, new places. We're in 62 countries right now, as where 5 years ago we were only in about 24.
However, one of the best things is that they are always looking for the next replica to build. And with the Rat Roaster slated to become a GMP model, we were able to get some insight on what it takes to bring a real car to life as a die-cast model.
We'll take some now. We'll probably need some more as the car progresses, especially when the color gets on it and what have you. But we'll take some pictures while we're here, and that's what we do.
We have a blower ready to go.
Okay.
If
The blow up.
You know what movie that is.
Yeah.
We're just happy to be part of this. We really are, and I look forward to maybe making models of cars you build here.
Now, hopefully, this gives you an idea of what is involved in creating a collectible die-cast model. It's almost as involved as building the real thing. But keep in mind that all die-cast is not created equal. Some are toys that are meant to be played with. Others are true works of art that you can afford to own, and they're still tough enough to be played with. That's something you cannot do with a baseball card collection.
And now, Quick Tip, sponsored by E3, when no ordinary spark plug will do.
You know, one of the things that you're going to find when you are building or restoring a vehicle is that you are going to end up with a lot of small parts that need to be painted on both sides. Now, what a lot of people do is lay down a piece of cardboard and spray paint the parts. The problem is, this allows a lot of trash to blow into the paint, and it doesn't really help you when you need to paint the other side. You're going to mess up the paint on one side or the other. So, a guy usually will hold on to the part and try to paint it that way. And they paint their fingers, and you still end up with fingerprints in the paint. Well, fortunately, there is a solution to this problem, and it's as close as your local hardware store. Now, these are metal plant hangers. They cost about $2. As you can see, they have metal wires that hang out of them, and they're perfect for hanging your parts. Now, the cool thing is, you can hang a lot of small parts with these, or they're strong enough to actually hold some pretty heavy brackets. Now, once you have everything hung up, all you have to do is go over to your rack, and you're ready to go. Now, as you can see, you've got all kinds of nice access on both sides of the parts. So, no more ugly parts, no more painted fingers. If you'd like to learn some more tips that will help you restore your vehicle, check out the tips page on the website.